You also change in terms of how you relate and deal with other people. For one, I no longer have patience to deal with other people's bullshit. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a busy 2 weeks for me. 2 weeks ago, I was in Davao on Samal Island. I was island hopping and swimming in the beaches for a short vacation. Last week, I was in La Union for a whole week, surfing in the beach and working from there. Not sure kung obvious sa inyo, but medyo umitim ako, and I do have some battle scars to prove it, no? So meron tong mga rashes from surfing. First time surfing, nakatayo naman ako. If you're following me on Facebook and LinkedIn, you can see some of my videos there. No excuses really for not keeping up with our upload schedule, but life does happen. What's important is that we do bounce back and we remain on track with our program. Vacation is good, no? For relaxation, for resting, but I think also for reflecting. Paisip ako over the past 3 years of my journey of independent living. I moved out 3 years ago in 2019, and since then, I've lived in 3 different cities, in BGC, Makati, Cebu City. I've also been on numerous vacations like to Taiwan, and kahit pandemic, naka-travel naman ako throughout the Philippines. I've been to Cebu, to Albay, and now to La Union and Davao. My relationships with people have also changed. Gained new friends, lost friends, fell in love, fell out of love, got heartbroken, get back into love. And I realized that none of this personal growth would have happened if I had stayed at home. A lot of us Pinoys can really relate. Pag nasa bahay ka kasi, yung parents mo or yung family mo, marami silang say sa mga ginagawa mo, where you go, who you're dating, what you're working on. And that's what I wanted to discuss today. Since I moved out on my own, there's been so much personal growth, but I wouldn't call it a perfect journey. Wala namang perfect sa mundo. So in today's video, we're going to discuss the pros and cons of moving out on your own. Before we continue, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Alam ko naman yung analytics and yung statistics, and most of the people that watch my channel are still unsubscribed and are very new. So please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. The first advantage of living on your own is the peace of mind that it brings. When you're living on your own, you're living by yourself and you can focus your time and energy on just yourself. Kung gusto mo, pag uwi mo sa work, tanggalin mo yung damit mo and maghubad ka the whole day. No one's gonna care. Maybe your neighbors across the condo will see you. Maybe that's a wrong example. But let's say mahilig ka sa music and you like to play it on loudspeakers. Pag nasa bahay ka kasi, di ba? Yung mga parents mo, madami silang sasabihin, yung lolo, lola mo, maybe you have younger brothers and sisters who are trying to sleep and iiyak pa sila. If you're on your own, as long as you don't play it so loud that your neighbors hear it a lot, then you're fine. That's one of the biggest benefits. If you want to pursue something and do something for yourself, you can freely do that while living on your own. Now, peace of mind doesn't just come from focusing on yourself, but it also comes from being away from others. Madami sa atin nakaka-relate dito because at times we do have toxic families. Yung tipong lagi kang inuutusan, and I'm not saying doing chores and helping your family is bad. At times we're working, we're trying to focus on doing something, learning something, tapos uutusan ka and it breaks your train of thought, it breaks your focus and your motivation. We also have toxic family members who always give you shit about whatever you do. They try to get your money to support their own families. You being the breadwinner, being the more capable person, lagi kang inaasahan. And that can be a source of stress. I do know many breadwinners who are caught in between, yung sandwich generation natin. They're trying to put up their own families, but at the same time, they still have to support their original family. I'm not from a sandwich generation, or I'm not a breadwinner on my own, but I feel that sometimes people depend on us because we're there. Second advantage that comes from living on your own is that there's a great financial improvement. Okay, how does that really work? Because now that you're living on your own, you're paying for your rent, your food, electricity, so many other bills. How can you possibly be improving financially? Honestly, at the start, it might be a struggle for you because now you're paying more bills and you don't have anyone to rely on. If you go back to my first point though, where I told you you'll have more time and energy for yourself, you can do a lot of different things. If you want to watch Netflix the whole day, that's up to you. But a lot of people, now that they have more time and energy for themselves, they can come up with something productive. Get a side hustle, develop a business, network with new people. That will lead to many opportunities for financial improvement. I discussed this in one of my previous videos, but when I moved out of the house, I developed my first side hustles. I was a teacher and a language tutor for some Chinese and Japanese people, and that was enough to support me and help pay for my rent. There are also the financial management skills that you'll pick up while living on your own. From budgeting to self-discipline. Kung ikaw gusto mo mag-Shopee and food delivery all day, every day, that's up to you. And I know a lot of people who do that and they burn through their food budget and their expenses go way, way up. And my last point about financial improvement is that other people no longer depend on you. Kapag nasa bahay ka, sometimes may utang na loob tayo towards our parents or family members, and we have to give allowance, we have to support certain people with their food, their other expenses. It's easier to say no when you're no longer living in the same house. I'm not saying that you cut off from your family completely or you drop the support entirely, but you can moderate now that you're on your own and you're away from them. The third advantage of living independently is you develop self-confidence. How does that happen? You're forced to trust no one but yourself. If you get sick, you're in charge of buying your own medicine, resting, and seeing a doctor. If your money is running out, you're in charge of finding more income, cutting your expenses, looking for those opportunities. You don't have your parents to rely on, you don't have your brothers and sisters who can bail you out. Self-confidence also comes from the fact that you're moving up in life. It's a big challenge, and if you're able to survive and be successful living on your own, then that's something to be proud of in itself. Self-confidence that you get from living on your own leads to increased risk-taking and your willingness to accept more opportunities. And it's a cycle that leads to further opportunities, greater self-improvement, and financial status for yourself. Now, at the start, I did tell you that nothing's perfect and there are disadvantages of living on your own. Your relationships change. Living independently can be good or bad for your relationships, and there are times that you really just need space to improve on a relationship. You can't deny the fact that dynamics change. You're no longer living with your family, your parents, your brothers and sisters. You aren't able to talk every day or as frequent. While you can maintain it through video calls, chat messages, it's different. Some of you may drift farther from your family. When I moved out of my house, my relationship with my father changed, because I was no longer living with him and he had another family. Our closeness isn't as tight as you. Also change in terms of how you relate and deal with other people. For one, I no longer have patience to deal with other people's bullshit. Friends and connections also change because you do discover some things about yourself. So you may realize that certain friends or people who you're with in the past are no longer who you want to be with moving forward. And as I've noted through several points in the video, it's really up to you. It's up to you to decide if independent living is going to be one of the best things you do in your life or it's going to end up as one of the worst things. And that's it. That's all I had to say in terms of the disadvantages. Not much. I've been living alone for the past 3 years. It's been a great journey for me. Mostly good things happen. It's been 3 years for me, moving on to my 4th year this year, and I don't really have much to say. I've grown and learned so much over the past years, and I'm really thankful for this opportunity. I don't think I'd be here today talking to you on YouTube if I'd be living at home in my parents' house. And that's it. I hope you liked it. Do let me know in the comments down below if you've moved out or you're looking to move out on your own. How's the experience going for you? As usual, if you like this video, please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you